Hey everyone, since we have to do an online class for Thursday, I'm making this video to talk you through how to write an analysis paragraph, which is going to be your assignment that you can see. It'll be over here on the right side here in the calendar. It'll also be up if you go into your discussion board. You'll see it there. So that's what you're going to complete. You're going to write an analysis paragraph. To help you with that, I've created an example with some notes on it. So to get to that example, you want to go to our content, click on outlines and templates, and click analysis paragraph example. So you can see the full example here, but what you need to do is actually hit the download button. When you hit the download button and open it up in Microsoft Word, you're going to see all of these comments that I've made that explain what is going on in each sentence. So let's talk about an analysis paragraph. First thing that you need to do is you need to write a topic sentence. And the purpose of your topic sentence, which you can see right here, is you want to connect your evidence, here the evidence is tension, to the larger theme. Here, since we're talking about the lottery, the theme is traditions are dangerous, especially in small towns. So you're making some kind of analytical claim about the evidence here. We're saying the tension helps the audience realize the larger tradition. In your second sentence, you want to give some context for what's going on with the evidence that you're using. I'm going to be talking about Old Man Warren. If you remember the video, he was the old man who talks in a really funny way. He'd been in 77 lotteries. So I kind of explained that to the reader. That's our second thing that we do here. We give some context. Next, you need to make some sort of analytical claim about your evidence. So here, an analytical claim is saying like this thing does this or something like that. Here I'm saying Old Man Warren represents the town's embrace of tradition and reluctance to progress or change, which we know. Remember, he's always saying like people aren't how they used to be. We need to do the lottery, stuff like that. So the next thing we're going to work on is incorporating textual evidence. So when you incorporate textual evidence, again, you got to give them some context, right? So that's what this scene is doing. We're saying, how is the evidence being used in the story? So here we say, when the crowd is waiting, they say, other counties don't do the lottery anymore. And then Old Man Warren has his little speech. That speech is what we're going to use as evidence. So when you introduce a quote in academic writing, you can't just drop the quote in here. Like you can see, the quote is right here. You got to introduce it first. So when you introduce a quote, what you do is you say, how is this evidence being used by the author in the story? So the way that we did that, we say, Old Man Warren is upset, and what does him being upset do in the story? It creates conflict and tension. And then after we have our little introductory sentence, we always put a colon. So you can see right here, we've got a colon, and then we have our direct quotation. When you're quoting directly, you just want to say whatever they said. So I just listened to the video, and he says, pack of crazy fools listening to the young folks. Nothing is good enough for them. First thing you know, everyone will go back to living in caves. No one will work anymore. So that's what he says. I just copy it directly. I paste it in. If you're doing a video or a TV show or something, your timestamp is going to be what goes in the in-text citation here. If it is a book or something like that, it's going to be a page number. If it's a song, it's going to be the line number of the song. So on Spotify, where it has all the lyrics, you just count how many lines down it is, and that's what you put. Remember, your in-text citation goes outside of the quotation marks, and your punctuation goes after the in-text citation. The next thing that you do, after you've got your textual evidence in, you got to explain why it's significant. So you could have taken any piece of the lottery. Why'd you focus on this? And we just say it creates tension between young people and old people. And then finally, the last thing that you do in an analysis is you got to tie your analysis back to the audience that you mentioned in your thesis. So we said this is for small town Americans. Why is Old Man Warren an effective character? Because if you guys grew up in a small town like me, you know a lot of people who are like Old Man Warren, who think the past is always better just for the sake of it being the past, right? So he's a good character because he's really relatable to people who grew up in small towns. He's a good representative of tradition and stuff like that, showing what's wrong with it. So that's how you write an analysis paragraph. What you're going to do for your assignment, you're going to go into the discussion board. I haven't created the discussion board, but you'll go into the discussion board And down here, you'll see analysis paragraph will be the topic, and you're just going to write a paragraph about your source, just like I did for this source. This is a good template that you can use. As a reminder, once you download it, you can see all my comments that explain what each sentence is doing. So I don't think you'll have any trouble writing that. I know some of you guys may lose power, may lose internet. Do your best to get it done before the hurricane comes. If it doesn't get done until next week, that's fine. They wanted us to have an online class for you. This is what we're going to do for our online class. So everybody stay safe. Yeah, don't go driving out in the hurricane.